Rob, I was just wondering, I prepared my financial statements for the year and everything looks good so far. We've made a profit, we have sufficient assets, quite a low level of liabilities. However, is there anything else I could consider to assess the results from my past year?
Yeah, it's a very good question. When assessing overall performance of the business, it's important to note that the figures themselves may mean very little to decision makers when seen in isolation. For example, a profit of 100,000 might sound brilliant at first glance, but there are many reasons why this may be a poor result. For example, the business budgeted for $200,000 profit, so they've received half of what they thought they would. The competitors of the business reported a $200,000 profit. Or the business profit for the past 3 years has been in excess of 150,000 and it's on a downward trend.
I see. So it is important to compare results against various benchmarks when assessing business performance. There are many ratios that help us assess the results of a reporting period. These ratios fall into three broad categories: liquidity, solvency, and profitability. The liquidity measures the ability of a business to turn their assets into cash and meet their short-term debts as they fall due. There is an important analysis because in order to keep a credit facility with their suppliers, the business must pay off their debts in time, or else the suppliers may insist on cash payments on delivery. They may also be able to take advantage of discounts offered by suppliers for early payment and increase profit as a result. Liquidity ratios may also reveal that the business is holding too much stock on hand and should look at investing this excess stock somewhere else.
Contrastingly, solvency is the ability of the business to meet their longer-term obligations, such as long-term business loans and mortgages, etc. This is an important analysis because the business can manage their repayments and ideally minimise their interest expense, and also they can keep a good credit rating so that loan applications in the future are successful.
Solvency also looks at business leverage or gearing. This is how the business's assets are financed, whether they are internally financed through owner's equity or externally financed through liabilities. The higher the proportion of externalities financed assets, the higher the risk. Finally, profitability looks at comparing the profit figure against various benchmarks. These benchmarks include showing profit as a percentage of the total assets the firm controls and also against the total investments the owner has in the business, that is, the owner's equity. Looking at the trend in the return on owner's equity will give an indication as to whether this business is the best for the owner to invest his money or whether property, shares or other alternatives would achieve higher returns.
The owner should also consider undertaking sustainability reporting, a common practice in modern day business. Sustainability reporting looks beyond economic indicators of performance and looks at the impact the business has socially and environmentally. Initiatives such as recycling and use of solar energy benefit society as a whole and should be used by businesses when possible. This leads to a triple bottom line result, which looks at the performance in each of the three areas of business: economic, environmental and social. Sustainability reporting also enhances a business's reputation by portraying them as a business that has a positive impact on the community in which they operate. In conclusion, a comparison of results against expected and past results, as well as looking beyond the economic indicators, is essential in analysing the overall performance of a business.